Greetings, guitar lovers and mutants alike. Greg Koch here with Joe Carducci in the Wildwood Lair, as we like to call it. And we're talking all things Gretsch today, and that's a good thing by Jiminy Jangle. Now, one of the things that I think is a common misconception is that Fender Musical Instruments owns Gretsch. Would you care to share some insight on what the actual relationship is?
Yeah, absolutely. Indeed.
Indeed.
Fender does not own the Gretsch company. The Gretsch is owned by the Gretsch family. Mm-hmm. They purchased it back from the Baldwin company back in 1985. I touched on previously that took Fred 5 years to get the company up and running. It's actively managed by Fred and Dinah Gretsch in their office in Savannah, Georgia. And as far as the guitar division, I handle the day-to-day business at the FMIC headquarters in Scottsdale. Mm-hmm. So that includes all the new models. There's a 3-year rolling plan of all the everything that's coming up, things that are going away, and that's basically handled and managed by myself. I do speak with Fred regularly to keep him updated on things that are happening, and the Fender guys leave me alone. And I think that's important to note because, you know, as I said, you know, a Fender guitar is day and night different than a Gretsch guitar. And it's got its own language and its own appointments and its own character. And if you live and breathe Fender and you want to try to put that person in, you know, running there or managing the Gretsch guitar line, it doesn't work because there are guys that are hardcore Gretsch enthusiasts out there that know more about Gretsch than Fred Gretsch or I. And but you know, of course, I have access to a lot of old materials and books and archives. And but you know, it's interesting that even with the Gretsch company, no different than a lot of other, no doubt, other guitar manufacturers, that in the 50s and the 60s, you know, there was no vintage market. Nobody kept track. Oh, today we're gonna, oh, we ran out of this color of paint. Hey, Dave, go down to the local hardware store and buy replacement orange, and they bring it in. It's a little different shade, but that's how things were. So in my travels at international guitar shows and meeting people at Gretsch consumer events, at retail stores, and people bringing these old beat up guitar cases, and they open them up and you go, wow, I've never seen anything like that. And that's just how things were. If somebody got the notion at the factory to do something experimental and different, somebody would say, yeah, go ahead, do it. And then they would build it, and it ended up going out in the world, and some lucky person's got, you know, oddity out there that, you know, it wasn't, you know, made recently, that came out of the 50s and 60s. I love the story that Fred tells about being at the Gretsch factory when Bo Diddley walked in. And he had already been rejected by other guitar companies. That he said he had this idea for a rectangular guitar, and how forward thinking and how hip Fred's uncle was to go, yeah, that's cool, let's do that. And if those of you on the world of the internet, go look at the headstone of Bo Diddley, and he's buried beneath the headstone that has a big rectangular Gretsch guitar. They even left the Gretsch logo on it. I mean, how wonderful is that? Indeed. But that was something that was Bo Diddley's identity, and we still make that guitar to this day. And it's a real fascinating journey, the whole Gretsch story as it is unfolded to this day. Excellent.